Anti-ICE protests have taken over Portland and Chicago. The Antifa frog got maced. He's a guy in a frog suit in Portland who got maced during an anti-ICE protest, which is as insane and ridiculous as you would imagine.
Yeah, they sprayed his vent.
These fucking ICE guys, I know we're laughing about it, but it does get a little weird when you have all these troops going into major cities with masks and unmarked vans. It feels like there needs to be a better way to do this. It feels a little Civil War-y beginnings of to me. I haven't dug into all of this because, again, I never really know. These are these important stories that I like to ignore because I'll read this headline and I'll go, whoa, that's f***ed up. And then 3 days later, it's like, oh, it was actually Venezuelan gangs. And like I saw this headline that was like, oh, ICE did this and they dropped in and they're taking away your rights. And then I found out it's like a house of a Venezuelan gang member. So I'm always kind of like, let's give this a 48-hour rule. That being said, there are National Guard being sent into different cities on Trump's orders, and mostly Stephen Miller, it seems like, is a lot behind this. And there's some feeling that they're trying to incite an episode that will lead to martial law. This is what I'm reading from hearing from left-wing media. Right-wing media would say this is all very hyperbolic. How do you guys feel? Tell us in the comments. Is martial law coming? I don't know. We can cover that later after we're in martial law.
So this is how liberty dies.
So I'm a little confused about what's going on, but I do know there are anti-ICE protests and they're always burning shit down and the political violence is escalating. As we came to record this, there was a woman in South Carolina, a judge whose house was burned down. It was still being investigated who did this. Although, again, the left immediately blamed the right. There's no evidence of that yet. So 24 to 48 hour rule. I always just wait.
What's important is figuring out whose fault this is.
But back to the important story, me. ICE keeps trying to recruit me. I don't know if you know this. Our audience probably does. They're advertising on X. And every time I open the app, I see Ice Barbie or Uncle Sam winking at me or pointing at me and asking me to join ICE and telling me to serve my country. And this is troubling for two reasons. One, ICE is recruiting shitposting edgelords and probably some real Nazis from X. And two, my algorithm thinks I'm perfect for the job. Now, I am a shitposting edgelord, but I am not a Nazi. It's funny to me because I clicked, of course, on the ad.
Oh, well, that's why you're getting a million more ads.
Well, I wanted to see what they were offering. And like, times are tough around here. Barry can go to CBS. I can go to the DHS, okay? Not all of us have the same opportunities. She has a college degree. I have a high school education. I'm basically a poster girl for ICE. They're offering $50,000 off your college debt, which I find funny because I don't think, given what I've seen from this population that works for ICE, they're the college-educated people who are paying off their student loans. Although maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, there's some sweet bonuses, but also you get Super Bowl tickets. Just kidding. So Bad Bunny said last month he would not perform in the United States during his upcoming tour due to concerns about potential ICE raids at the shows. Now, I have no idea who Bad Bunny is. I thought Bad Bunny was an OnlyFans star, and then I realized that I was wrong about that. And then but he's a wildly popular, Maggie, do you know who he is?
He's a reggaeton is what they...
Reggaeton?
Yeah. I don't even know what that is.
I'm too old to care about Bad Bunny. And then it was announced that he would perform during the Super Bowl halftime show. And then ICE announced it would be at the Super Bowl because, as we mentioned in our last episode, we live in meme world now and everybody is just a shitposting edgelord. So my question, if I join ICE, will I get to go to the Super Bowl? And this is what I was saying. I want to join ICE just so I can go to the Super Bowl. And then maybe that will be my ICE initiation. They'll be like, all right, Bridge, you'll be one of us, but you've got to tackle Bad Bunny in front of millions of people. Sure, everyone's going to want to kill you, but you'll be one of us after that. Actually, knowing me, it would just be me hanging on to some backup dancer while they're twerking, trying to bring them down unsuccessfully as they drag me along stage. I think a lot of Americans who might not have tuned into Bad Bunny would tune into the potential for Bad Bunny getting iced in the middle of his halftime show.
Yes.
I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm just saying it's a thing. They should cancel Bad Bunny and get Vanilla Ice. That would be the ultimate troll.
Drop that zero and get with the hero.
Bad Bunny's he was on SNL last week, and his opening monologue, he said Americans need to learn Spanish before the Super Bowl so that they can understand what he says.
If you didn't understand what I just said, you have 4 months to learn.
No, actually, Americans need to learn Spanish so they can watch my Mexican weather report. I could use my ICE job for recruiting Mexican weather girls for Barry Weiss's CBS. Don't you see?
I love it when a plan comes together.
It's synergy, baby. I've just got them handcuffed and gagged in the van. I'm like, listen, except in Spanish. If you want to stay in this country, you got to do the weather. Put this tube top on and stand in front of that map. All right, things are bad these days. Okay, I'm trying to make light of it. When I go on X, I'm like, wow, things are so much worse than we realize. People are so desperate for a job. Half of America is going to be podcasters, and the other half is going to be ICE agents. I should start a podcast about ICE.
Well, if you try and become an ICE agent, we can certainly podcast about that.